Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper again. This is going to be a very personal video for me. I've been to therapy and these past almost 2 months, and I've just been trying to work through my feelings and, make some choices for myself. But I've gained some subscribers, and it's only fair to y'all that let me pick this up a bit right here. I'm just using it as like a tapping. But I've told you guys I want to be very transparent with you guys. And I know I'm in no way perfect. I know he can still see my videos, and he's probably going to share this video to all his friends and be like, well, she's acting like it's all my fault when she's at fault too, and just, slander my name through the mud like I know he's doing. Okay. I met my soon-to-be ex-husband in October, or it may have been September. I think it was September. And I met him first at a Christmas dinner. I was part of something called the Singing Christmas Tree at my church, and I met him for the first time through his mother. I had been really close to his mother. She was the piano player at my church, and I had already known her for 2 years. And I remember the first time I ever met him, I actually thought he was the husband of my, friend's daughter that she used to talk about all the time, like, pray for my daughter. My daughter's schizophrenic, my daughter's this, my daughter's that. So I knew she had a daughter, but I never knew she had a son. But I found out that night that she did, and he was strung out on spice at that time. But I was just so ready to fall in love. I'd never really had a serious boyfriend. And I don't mean to go there, but I never slept with anybody. I always told myself as a Christian woman that I would save myself for marriage, and that's what I did. But I was also very delusional. I was a romantic. I always felt like guys judged me because, I'm a tall girl. I'm 6'1", and it was always really hard for me to find men that didn't judge me on my height or my voice or if I'm fat or skinny, whatever. I always had just a really hard time getting a boyfriend. And I met my husband, and then a couple months after that dinner, I got tired of my mom saying, hey, you should look him up on Facebook. He probably needs a friend. And finally, in November of 2013, I messaged him on Facebook because I took a picture of him and his family at that dinner. And I was like, hey, I got this picture from the dinner if you'd like to have it. And it took him about 3 days. He told me that he had just got off of spice, that he was sober. And we talked all night that night. When I met my husband, I fell hard and I fell fast because he acted like a person that I could see myself fall in love with and having children with, and having a life with and a home with, because he was in school to become a med tech. He was working as a med tech at some point. We had dated. It was a very short courtship. That was my first mistake. We were only dating a month or two before I proposed to him. And take in mind, I was 22 years old, and I was just ready to fall in love and have a life with someone, have children. And of course, he said yes. And you know, I'm not saying that I didn't love my husband in the beginning, when he had all these promises for us and promised me everything, the world. But as soon as we got married, there were these little red flags popping up everywhere. Like on our honeymoon night, he invited his best friend, who was a drug addict as well, to come to our house where we were having our honeymoon. And they stayed up all night drinking and swimming in the ocean. And he thought that was normal. He thought things like that were normal. That was like red flag number one for me. I was like, hold up a second here. And then just little red flags popping up everywhere. And then he got fired for sleeping, is what he said, at his med tech job, and he spiraled into a depression, and he relapsed and was on Spice again for almost a year, and he got over that. But then he got addicted to opiates for years. I don't even know how many years he was addicted to opiates. There was also crack in there somewhere. Meth. You know, just all the drugs that my mama always told me don't ever touch. And I can thank my angels and my mom and God that I never touched it. Never touched it. I never touched coke. Never touched meth. Never touched spice. And this part is hard for me. Okay. He said that psychedelics were normal. He said the world just doesn't want you to see how beautiful heaven can be. Like, he would say stuff like that to try to talk me into taking psychedelics. And I did. And I can tell you with 100% certainty right now that I will never touch that shit ever again. It was just a life that people warned me. People at my church warned me. They said, Kelly, please be careful. They said, we love you. You're a sweet girl. We care about you. Please be careful. He has a past of drug and anger. And I didn't listen because I was so in love. And going into it, I had anger issues as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna gloss over anything. I had anger from childhood, from being bullied and being taken advantage of by some people. Yes, I did have anger problems, but I only really got angry when I would work 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts, night shift, and I'd come home and the house would still be dirty. I would be told that it was a woman's job to cook and clean. So I would have to come home and just want to rest. You guys, I just wanted to rest. I wanted to sit down and I wanted to spend time with him. You know, because even though, you know, recently is when I started feeling different. I wanted to spend time with him, and it just seems like everything else, like Pokemon. Oh, I heard about the fucking Pokemon every single day. And then poker. He had a gambling problem. Never saw any checks come in, except for that one big check. I can't tell you which year it was. We won a big check on a gambling site on the slots, and we got it, and we bought a truck with it, but the rest of it went up his nose. So, and he thinks I can gloss over all of that. Because me being stupid me, during the holidays this December, I started talking to him, you know, just as friends, like I told you. I told him, I said, it hurts me to know that even after everything you've done to me, it hurts me to know that you're hurting and alone. Yeah, stupid me, right? And you know, he'd say the same stuff over, because we've split up about 5 or 6 times before this, and he'd say all the same things, like, if I'd known that I was pushing away the love of my life, and oh, if I'd known, when I would literally tell him on a daily basis, I'd say, Joel, I said, one day I'm gonna leave. One day I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find what I know I deserve. And he would be like, oh, you don't have nowhere to go. And yeah, right, and stuff like that. He never took it seriously. When I would say, I am leaving. And it seems like ever since 2021, when I had to save his life. Yeah, there's a video about that. He was addicted to opiates. He took too many one night, and I had to save his life at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to work that night, that night, and instead I had to save his life. They had to come and Narcan him. I literally, it was raining cats and dogs. And I literally ran out barefoot in my nightgown. Scariest moment of my life. And all this is going on while my mom is having all these strokes. And he never understood what I was going through. I would cry. I would say, there has to be some way I can go to her. I would say, one day she's going to die and I'm never going to see her again. And it's like he didn't care. He would bring her, he brought her down all the time. He said stuff about her that I would never, ever say about his mother. Even now, I would not say the things that he said about my mother, about his mother, ever. He was so mean. You know, talking about, I helped her, you know, trying to get her disability about 15 years ago, and it was just something between me and her that I told him about. But it's like, he was like, ugh, because he hated her, and he talked like he hated her. Even when she used to call me, he'd be in the background, like making sex noises and stuff. Like, come on, dude. He wouldn't stop smoking cigarettes. I hated that. Hated that he smoked cigarettes. still, because I quit. I lost count how many months it's been. But I quit smoking, and he still smoked like a chimney. It was just all these things that piled up. But I just want to be known that I know I'm not perfect. Okay, because I know he's going to be sending this video to his friend Mark and Dan and anybody that'll listen to it. And like, oh, look at this bitch. That's probably what they say, look at this bitch spreading lies, when I know what happened to me. Nobody can gloss over what happened to me since I've been married to him. Okay, so this is the part that gets hard. Things really changed for me back in August. You guys remember I was really sick. Just sick all the time, you know, being a CNA and having a weak immune system. And I had, for the first time in forever, I had an earache. And I just wasn't feeling good. And he came home, he had a bottle of liquor. I hadn't ate a thing, totally empty stomach. And he had a bottle of liquor, and he was like, well, drink some liquor, and let's go trip on the beach. So, me being stupid me again, I listened to him, and ended up blacking out on the beach. Yeah. I got talked into taking 3 tabs of acid, while also being tipsy from the liquor and having an empty stomach. And I was on that beach for 8 hours. And even though I blacked out, all I remember is, you know, when you go on that beach access, when you go to the beach, I was just holding on to one of those poles, and I was like, please, God, please not like this. That's what I said. I said, please, God, not like this. And the next thing I remember was a security guard coming up to me. I had nothing but my underwear on, like my undies. Yeah. And I had no idea how I got to that security shack. All I can say is it was God. God put me there, because I have no idea how I got there. And I hope that you guys don't think differently of me, because I will never, ever, 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 ever do things like that again. I really, really learned my lesson that night. It just wasn't meant to be, you know, but I did tell him, I was like, and I still mean this, I said, I want the best for you. I want people to be happy no matter what they've done to me. I wish happiness on everybody, but he really showed his ass the other night, was telling me that, oh, this girl was hitting me up on Facebook and might as well go screw her and stuff, so I really didn't care. That's the best part. That's the best part, you guys. I didn't care. I did not care. Not one bit. You see, he was trying to hurt me, but he just pushed me further and further away to where I was like, okay, block. And that's been it. That's the story of my crazy, fucked up marriage. I can't say I didn't love him. Not in the beginning. In the first few years, I did. And then we had our dog on me, and she just made it hard for me to leave because I loved her so much. And I think about Patty Cake, my cat. That's why I got Mr. Journey here, thank God. I love this cat so much. He's been such a knight in shining armor for me. He's such a good sleeper too. Look at him asleep. But I really hope that I don't lose subscribers over this. I just wanted it to be, I feel like every day, like sick to my stomach because I want to get all this stuff out. I tried. There is a lot of divorce in my family, and I always said that if I ever got married, that I'd never get divorced. But sometimes there's just nothing you can do. There's only so much faith you can have in a person. I don't wish the treatment that we both put on each other on anybody. It got really bad towards the end with our anger, because I was angry at him for not working and not showing like he gave a shit, and he would, you know, get angry off of my anger, and then we'd do things that hurt each other. I can say this, he only hit me the one time, and that's all it takes. I had spit in his face. This was right before we split. I had spit in his face, and he whacked me across the face. And that's all it takes for me. That's all it takes. I'm not gonna have, no matter what I do. No matter what I do to you. I'm a woman, you know. You don't hit a woman. But, I thank God for this channel, because if I didn't have this channel, I don't know where I'd be today. You guys are my friends. You guys are the only people he didn't alienate me from. Even my own mother, I could barely talk to her. But now I'm here, and the road is open, and I can just pray about it and try to figure out where God wants me. Because that's what matters to me most, is what's God's purpose for me, you know? That's one thing about my marriage, is I took my eyes off of God. I was a very devoted church-going girl when I met my husband. And right after we got married, he wouldn't even take me to church anymore. And I went down a very scary and very dark road. But I'm here now, and it helps me to get all this out, and I appreciate y'all listening. I'll put a warning in the description of this video, just in case it's not relaxing to some people. But I love you guys. I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you for all your support and all your prayers and all your kind comments. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.